Hey, so here we are at the final step of this get out of debt journey. This is step four. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey. It's been a wonderful, wonderful series. Truly, truly appreciate it. If you have been watching this series, keeping up with this series, as it's going to be life changing for a lot of people. If you're able to see it, appreciate you obviously enjoying it, but I appreciate everyone that's going out of their way to share this and get this message out, because I really do. I genuinely want everyone to experience life without debt. And I know that if you will follow this series, and I know that if you will follow all the steps that I go over, the different ways that I have presented and giving you some different tactics to approach debt, from your mindset to analyzing your debt situation, all the way up to construction that get out of debt roadmap, you will be out of debt. Today, this is a different part, right? Because I think that this is the piece of the pie where you have the option to speed this up, slow this down. You can literally change everything about how you approach debt by doing these three easy, vastly different ways to speed up your debt-free journey. Okay, so it's been an amazing series so far, and I hope that you're taking everything that I intended for you to walk away to free yourself from debt. And it all brings us to this. It all brings us to this episode in today's society, because I think that everyone has this idea of wanting instant gratification, right? Like, everyone wants this instant gratification, and I think that there's a huge gap in what that actually means, and I think that I can bridge that gap. I truly think I can bridge that gap and get you the debt-free results that you want faster. Because what if I told you it was possible? Because I think it's possible. There's three ways, and I'm going to present all three ways that you can choose from. And the best part about these three ways is that you don't have to choose one. Okay? You don't have to choose one. You can choose all three. You can do all three of these things, and that will only speed up your debt-free journey that much faster. Right? I'm telling you. So, as I've done with every episode in this series, here are the things that, the first things first. I got to give the disclaimer that none of these three ways are easy. Well, one of them's kind of easy, just to be honest. The others are not that easy. But the reason I decided to give you three is because it allows for one of the three to be easier than others, right? For some people. So one of these you should be able to relate to a little bit easier than some of the others. I will tell you that some of the some of those that are a little more painful, I guess you could say, do pay off more. So go through the pain, and you'll definitely get a reward from it. But the second disclaimer I have is that if this is the first episode that you're jumping into, you may get something out of this, obviously, because you may already understand something about your debt. But watching the first three parts of this series is important. So go back, tune into those first three parts if you have missed them. They're on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you enjoy your podcast. So make sure that you go and enjoy those. Make sure that you go and listen to those, because those will help sort of direct you in how this whole thing is going to go. But all these sort of build off of each other. So why does this what does this all come down to? Well, it obviously all comes down to getting out of debt. But this episode specifically is, you built your roadmap. You understand that you're on the journey to get out of debt. How do you get out of debt faster? Like, you want that now. So that's what this episode is going to do. It's going to give you three, like I said, fairly simple ways to get you out of debt faster. And that's exactly what I want you to take away from this. That's you can see by the image on the picture, for those listening on the podcast, it's literally just a road sign that says debt free just ahead. So without further ado, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna hit these three ways so that you can expedite that journey, because I do. I want you to be debt free. I want you to understand what it's like to be debt free. Because an image that I like to throw out there is if you could take, nobody wants to go back to being a child, right? People want to go back to being in the mindset and the life of the child that had nothing to worry about. Maybe even high school. Maybe you don't want to go back to being a child, but maybe just high school. But just this visual, right, where you know your parents were, you know, for the vast majority, not everybody, but you know, for the most part, parents were, you know, providing you food, they were providing you shelter, they were providing you transportation, they were providing you all these things. Like you didn't really have much to worry about. You worried about, you know, your schoolwork. You worried about your, you know, hanging out with your friends. You worried about video games. You worried about like you see what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is all fun stuff, right? But we've gotten to this adult, and the one thing you didn't worry about was debt. You didn't worry about money so much. Like your parents may have like given you little tidbits of money advice along the way, but you didn't really have to worry about money. And as you get into the adult, you have more opportunity, more options, and debt can become overwhelming. So I want to get you back to the point where you don't have to worry about money. Like you have what you need to survive. You have, you know, you're spending what you have. You're not spending money that you have not earned yet, which is what debt is. Debt is you've spent money that you did not have. Yeah, I know. Everyone thinks that a car note is just the way of life, but it's not. Like that's, you're spending money you don't have. Like you bought a car that you know that you didn't, you know, you had to borrow that car. Otherwise you would have just bought it, right? So without further ado, we're going to jump in 3 ways. Oh, if you're watching this live, you can see the picture. So this is the number 1 way. This is the first way, and by far this is probably the second easiest. Not saying this is the easiest because there is an easier one I'm going to go over, but first way that you can expedite your get out of debt journey is to clean house. Sell things within your house. So this is a major way that you can almost instantaneously put a huge dent into your debt. Okay? You can put a huge dent into your debt because if you're using the debt snowball that I covered in step 3 of this series, this one yard sale, house cleaning event that you do could give you enough income to bust through maybe 1 or even 2 of your smallest debts in that debt snowball. Okay. This allows you to knock months off of your timeline in terms of getting out of debt, and not to forget the interest that you're going to save along the way for doing this. So the best part about the yard sale, the cleaning the house, or whatever you want to call this, the garage sale, the best part is that you probably won't even remember that you had a lot of these items. Actually, you'll probably be going through and be like, wow, I haven't touched this in years. Hopefully that doesn't trigger this like emotional side of you that says, oh, you know, I might need this, you know, like 5 years from now. I mean, we'll just buy it again. Like you're going to be out of debt then. You'll have the money. Okay. So let's be clear. So you've got to you know, take the emotional attachment away from some of these items, right? And sell them. Because in the end, you're going to get this extra money, you're going to have this extra income, and you're going to be able to knock out a lot of those debts. And if you end up needing them again later on in life after you're debt free, think about it. Reward yourself with the idea of buying it without having to use debt to get it, and you get the upgraded model. That's a win, baby. Let's go. So, how do you do it? So this is there's a lot of ways you can do it, but the first reason is that you can do this old school yard sale, like you see in the picture here. Just guys standing outside of just a garage, tons of items strewn all across a table, and I mean, letting people walk up and pick out what they want, naming a price, boom, out it goes, right? That's one way you can do it. The second way you can do it, and I want to be clear, this is probably the best online version of doing this, is eBay. And the reason that I say it's the best online site to move a lot of your items is because it allows for you to put the most items out there. It has the biggest market, right? Some of these other ones I'm going to hit, The market's not as big. Plus, when you're using eBay, you have the ability to sell to anyone worldwide. The downside to using eBay is you obviously have to ship these items. So if you do sell them online, you have to ship them, and that's a downside. But the upside is you can pretty much sell everything. So if that's just a great way. Number 3, so yard sale, garage sale, whatever, where you put a sign out, open the door and let people in. eBay is that second one. The other one's like a Poshmark or a ThredUp. I wanted to put this one out there because this one's specifically focused around clothes. If you have an abundance of clothes or shoes or whatever that you no longer wear, Poshmark, ThredUp, something like that, you can take pictures of it and then you literally just wait for them to sell. Just maintain the article of clothing or shoe or whatever and wait for the thing to sell. You don't have to put much effort into it. You can just take the pictures and let them sit there and do their thing, and they'll eventually sell. Once again, you have to ship those. That's the other downside to that. The last place that I want to ensure that you're aware of is, most people are aware of Facebook Marketplace. If you're not, it's a huge opportunity to sell a lot of the things that are in your home. That you're no longer using, and you can also almost sell just about anything. The great part that I want you to know about when it comes to Facebook Marketplace is that you don't really, most of it is people in your area, right? So you don't have to ship your items. You can normally schedule a meeting spot. I've sold a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace. It's probably the number one thing that I would sell things if I was going through and decluttering. When I have gone through and decluttered, Facebook Marketplace has been my go-to. I just like to go and post them, let them sit there, go renew them every once in a while, change prices if I have to, if items are not moving. Get that hot spot, that sweet spot for when someone wants that item. But that's probably the easiest, and I can go buy. You can meet up. You can Venmo, Cash, whatever, and then all of a sudden, off it goes. Your items are gone. You've got money. Throw that at that debt, right? But as you can see, this is an easy way to do it, and it's very quick, and that extra cash can help knock down your debt. The other great thing about this whole cleaning house thing is that there's this great feeling that comes with the idea of decluttering. So a little decluttering can make your body and your soul feel so good. I mean, if you've ever lived in a house where it's just messy and dirty, or you've been around someone that's been messy or dirty, you can feel how it kind of gets to you a little bit, right? So there's this good mental state that comes with decluttering. It makes your house look better, your pockets look better. Can you say cha-ching? And it provides a shortcut on your roadmap to to being debt free and financial freedom. So it's definitely worth doing, and like I said, it's the second easiest, because the first easiest I am going to get to just now. This is the first easiest, so decluttering is the second. This is the first easiest. Probably should just reorder these, but all good. First easiest way, and this is because it takes no extra physical effort, and no matter how full or empty your schedule is, you can do it. It is called living on necessities, minimal living, whatever you want, minimal lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. It is all about you living on what you need. And I'm telling you what, there's books out there, there's articles, there's tons of information out there on minimal lifestyle, minimal living type of thing. And that's what I want to say, that this can become an addiction. It's not as hard as you think. You just have to adapt it. You start trying to figure out ways to save. And I know everybody's going to stare at you. You're probably, everybody's going to wonder why your room has a mattress, a little hanging clothes rack, and a bookshelf or something. I don't know. But for you, it's like, oh, I'm becoming debt free. Like, I don't need all that stuff. Like, I can just live on necessities, right? And that's literally all this is about. It's all about cutting back on the things that you no longer need and living on exactly those essentials of life. This is the one that's going to improve your appreciation for those non-essentials. So if you've had all these streaming channels, and you had all these things that are non-essential in life, and you cut those, all of a sudden you're going to appreciate them that much more when you get out of debt and you can start to take part in some of these non-essential items. that you may have given up just so that you could get out of debt faster. So you're probably thinking, all right, I'm down with living on necessities. What does that entail? Well, let me first off preface this by saying this does not mean that you have to live a boring life. Okay. So this does not have to take away from the enjoyment of life. You just have to redirect where you're finding enjoyment, right? So if you say, how can I live on necessities? I'm going to give you some ideas. So first one that you can easily implement right this second is live on one streaming subscription, one streaming service. This isn't one forever. This is one, this isn't the same one forever. This is just one at a time until you're out of debt. Okay. So pick one. Let's say for, the month of July, I want to use, or month of August or month of whenever, let's say last month I used, Netflix. This month, I'm going to use, let's say, Hulu. All I have to do is pick any one, and roll with it, right? So if I pick to do Netflix, last month, and then I cancel or pause my Netflix or cancel my Netflix, and I'll let Hulu pick up this month, and I watch everything to my heart's content on that one streaming service. I mean, think about it. Right now, you pay for a bunch, and you probably watch one at a time anyways, because you're watching a show or you're watching, something. But I want to give you the financial part of this. I want to give you the financial part. So think about it. If you're currently subscribed to, let's say, 5 subscriptions at about $8.99 a piece, that means you're currently spending about $45 a month on your subscriptions. So if you cut down to just the one, this is going to open up about $35 a month to pay off your debt faster. I know $35 doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're thinking about your debt, everything matters. It's all about knocking that down. After 3 months, you've put extra $100. You see how now the money's starting to add up, start to actually look a little better. So that's one way, is this minimal living type of thing in terms of cutting subscriptions. The other way that you can do a more minimalistic life is to eat out, but no more than once a week. You see, I didn't take away the fun of eating out. I didn't take away the enjoyment of eating out. I'm just saying eat out no more than once a week. So you could do this and get it down to once a month if you want to be more aggressive. It's just about, what do you want? What do you want? Where can you find that happy medium within yourself where you're getting yourself out of debt, you're making those decisions, but you're not doing it in such a way that is taken away from the enjoyments of life, okay? Now, the one thing I want to say is that eat out no more than once a week. This does count for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so only once in a week, so pick your favorite. If you love breakfast food, eat out once a week for breakfast. If you like dinner, eat out once a week for dinner. Lunch, go have lunch with your coworkers, once a week. But pick your favorite and roll with it. Just go with that. Like, that's how you can live minimally and still get enjoyment out of life. Number 3, plan your grocery trips. Be conservative on what you're eating while you're getting out of debt. I'm not saying you have to eat Spam and rice every meal, but you don't need to eat scallop steak and lobster every night, okay? So know what you're going to buy before you go to the grocery store. Have your meals planned out. Know what you're buying. Don't walk in there just picking things off the shelf and be like, oh, I'll figure out how to make a meal with this, because it's just going to end up getting wasted anyway. So have a plan, a structured plan when you go to the grocery store, and absolutely dive into that full-on, not meal like prepping, but just meal planning, right? Don't buy anything that's not on your list. Go in there structured. You're getting out of debt. You shouldn't be wasting money on careless things, all right? Number 4 for this minimalist lifestyle is don't pay for a gym membership. Working out at home is just as good. Gym memberships, back in the day, I was paying like $20 a month, and I thought that was a lot for a gym membership. Now, when's the last time I had a gym membership? Maybe 2015, I guess. I had a gym membership, $70 a month. I don't know what gym memberships cost now, but I'm sure that they are still running that $70 a month time frame. And that's where you've got to understand that $70 a month is a lot of money, and you've got to know that you can't go around wasting money on a gym membership. You can work out at home just as good. You can Google all day. You can Google home body weight workouts, knock those out. You can navigate to YouTube and find different body weight workouts that you can do from YouTube. Or you can go out and just go for a simple walk or run or whatever. All of these things can save you money. Don't buy a single want, okay? So everything that you say, oh, I wish I had this. Oh, I want that. Stop that thought in its tracks. Don't go out searching for these wants, okay? Don't do it. It's you're getting out of debt. Like, your process right now is get out of debt, not fulfill all of these shopping cravings that have plagued you. So you've got to stop saying, I want that, I want this. Like, you're getting out of debt. You cannot go through life continuing to give in to that urge while you're getting out of debt, or you're just going to stay in debt. You're not putting enough money towards it. So number 2 was that or the second way that you can become debt-free faster is just to live that minimalist lifestyle. Now, this is the one that I'm going to tell you is painful. You see, I had to adjust myself in my chair because I got to get ready to tell you this, but this is the one that most people don't enjoy. All right. And I mean, what I can tell you though is that it is the most rewarding financially, personally, professionally. This is the most rewarding, and I'm just being honest. But it's get a part-time job. Don't run away yet. Let me just break this down because this is good. It's really good. If you, this is the rewarding part of it that I'm talking about. If you choose a part-time job that can gain you a skill that you did not have before you took on that part-time job, that's not only financially rewarding, right? Like, that's a skill that you now can add and correlate to your primary job and other future career opportunities, right? It's not always about what's resume things, air quotes, do I have. Soft skills are very important. And that's a lot of what you can take from part-time jobs. You don't have to be the highest paid. You don't have to be the manager. You don't have to be. All you need is the soft skills of working with people, working with customers, talking to these things. Part-time jobs pay you financially, and they reward you with so many skills that's beneficial. So if you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, I've read a lot of his books. If you're familiar with him at all, one of the things that he talked about is how he was a bad salesman. And he actually ended up taking a job at Xerox to improve his selling, right? Like, it's not that he needed the job at Xerox. He could have probably got a job anywhere. He didn't probably even want to be in selling copiers or printers or whatever for X number of time. He got really good at it as well, and he left because he felt like he had mastered that skill. It was time to move on and start getting other skills. So in life, it's not always about like what it is that you're doing, but the skills that come with what it is that you're doing. So here are some examples of what I'm talking about. Some of those soft skills, those jobs that you could take that could benefit you, depending on where you may struggle, where you may lack. Job in retail, requiring you to talk to strangers. What if you have a trouble talking to strangers, right? Customer service jobs require you to help people. What if you're not very good at problem solving with people, right? Customer service job. Admin assistant, requiring you to be organized, have good time management. If you struggle with those things, maybe a part-time admin assistant job is right up your alley. House cleaner, that could teach you attention to detail. Plus, let's be honest, you have the ability to listen to podcasts and audiobooks and other educational things while you're completing your job, giving you more skill, more insight into other markets. A dog walker could give you daily exercise. If you have trouble finding time for daily exercise, why not go get paid to do it? And plus, you get to spend time with a pet, right? Like if you're a pet lover, like that's a great example of exercising. Listen to audiobooks, like I said in the house cleaner, audiobooks, podcasts. All of these are great examples of different skills that you can obtain. and they can easily bring in $10 to $25 an hour, depending on the job and your level of experience in that field. It could easily bring in $10 to $25 an hour. So it's worth looking at. It's worth doing. Now, the thing about part-time jobs is that there is some expenses that come with it. So it's very, very much vital that you make sure that the job pays for the expenses that come with it as well. All of the money, the key takeaway in this part-time job is that all of this is income for your debt. This isn't so that you can now have extra money to now pay off debt and go get the things you want. Like, this whole point of this part-time job is to get yourself out of debt faster. So all the money that you make goes toward your debt. None of it goes in your pocket. Okay. Some of the different types of part-time jobs that are out there that you can look into is like traditional hourly rate jobs. These are probably going to get you on some kind of schedule, and you'll show up, clock in, clock out, get paid every week or every other week, and you'll get paid for the hours that you work. That's just the traditional hourly job. Some more with the progression into like the whole online market atmosphere. There's some different on-demand type of jobs, which are very beneficial for people that want to work their own schedule as a part-time job. Uber and Lyft, both are rideshare companies, allow you to go out and drive, pick people up, drop them off. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, food and grocery delivery. If you want to go out and do that, make some extra money. I actually heard that Instacart pays. You can especially during COVID, they were paying pretty well. So if people got into that habit of using Instacart for their grocery shopping, I'm just saying there might be a market there for you to, if you don't mind running to the grocery store and picking up groceries for people, there might be a market for you to make a ton of extra cash doing that. TaskRabbit is another one. This is more of like service oriented work, like moving services, handyman, yard work, installation and mounting of different like TVs and stuff in your home, furniture assembly, cleaning, shopping, anything. But it's just tasks, right? And people pay you to complete these tasks. That's another great option that you can put your services out there, and you can go and provide and on demand make money. You don't have to schedule like clock in, clock out times, but when you can, go put in the extra time and make some extra cash. Upwork is a platform that allows you to do more specialty work. So if you're like an IT professional as your primary occupation, if you provide financial services, sales and marketing, customer support, anything like that, you can go to Upwork and put your services out there to provide services to people that are requesting them, whatever professional field that you're in. All of these allow for you to work when you want, and almost all of them are going to come with some kind of tax advantage, right? So if you use your car for Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, anything like that, you can write off, your mileage or whatever that you use to do those things. So they all come with pretty good tax advantages. So you can see these are three vastly different ways that you can help expedite and become debt-free faster. So house cleaning, so yard sales, number one. Number two, or declutter, I guess you can really say for number one. Number two is minimal living on necessities. And number three is getting yourself a part-time job. All right. But like I started, these are three different ways, totally different ways that you can knock down your debt much faster. And you have the ability to pick one. But when you look at them, they're all different. So you literally have all three that you could pick and do them at any given time. So all of these are going to help you get out of debt faster. So are any of these required to get out of debt? No, none of this is required to get out of debt. You will get out of debt if you build out that debt snowball plan from step 3 of this get out of debt journey. And it will happen. You will get out of debt. However, if you follow 1, 2, or all 3 of these simple ways, you will get out of debt faster. This is not like some conspiracy. Like, you will get out of debt faster. I'm telling you. And let's be honest, if you did the part-time job, and you picked up some really sweet soft skills, you may come out of this on the back end getting pay raises in your primary occupation because of these soft skills that you picked up. Or maybe you meet somebody in your, while you're out working your part-time job that says, hey, like I didn't know this is part-time for you, but I would love to bring you into my company. I can pay you this or whatever. And now all of a sudden, let's say you're getting $10,000-$20,000 raises for some skills that you portrayed, or some great customer service that you provided a customer at your part-time job. I'm just saying, like, crazier things have happened. All right. So hang in there, keep pushing. The great part about the journey to get out of debt is that it does get easier as you're getting through it. So mostly because you start creating new ways of living, you start figuring out new things, you start getting better at managing money. Because let's be honest, you won't get out of debt if you continue to live the same way that you always have. You will start to feel a little down and overwhelmed, whatever. All of this is going to help make you start to feel motivated by the results that you're seeing, and you will get out of debt. Okay. So hang in there. You can do it. And as always, I am here. You can see on the screen if you're watching this live. If you're not, if you ever need a financial coach at any point throughout this journey, or at any point throughout life, just to help you make sure that your finances are in order, that you're setting yourself up for success in retirement, that you're needing help budgeting, buying a home, like whatever, getting out of debt, obviously, go to thefinancialmirror.org/contact. Fill out the contact form if you're watching this live, or you see this as a VOD later on YouTube or Facebook. You can see what the contact form looks like on the website. Just go there, fill out the contact form, hit submit. That comes to me as an email, and I will be in touch with you. I will be your accountability partner, soundboard coach, get you through all the steps of your every step of your finances, no matter what your goal is and what you're trying to accomplish. Thanks for watching this episode. If you've caught the whole series, once again, I appreciate your support. Don't forget to share this. Hit the little bell if you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you really enjoyed watching this series. It really goes a long way in helping promote the stream, promote the content. If you're listening to this on a podcast, don't forget to subscribe, comment, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. If you know someone that can use this, like I said, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Until next week, peace. I'll see you then.